What is up, guys? It's Scott with Never Hedge back for another Metamaterials update, and we've got a nice little sell-off to start the day. Down 14 cents so far, trading well below that 50 EMA line here, and the RSI is looking not great at 41.68, and MACDs are looking very bearish today. We're going to go right into the Ortex data because we've got a lot to get into today. As we can see, short interest has dropped a little bit after those FTDs hit on back here. See a large drop in short interest down to 11.64 million shares. And the days to cover has dropped quite a bit from, looks like a high in the last couple of weeks of 4.86 down to 1.06. And we'll pop over to Fintel. So you can see the short volume ratio is still very high, but the number of shares of the short interest has dropped again to 11.6 million. And the short interest percentage of the float has also dropped as well, down from a high of like 20-ish% down to 6.5%. And short squeeze score has dropped a bit from last week, as high as 65-ish, down to 58.5. But the short shares availability has gone down as well. We were as high as 4.5 million last week. Now we're down to, well, we were as low as 100,000. Now we're up to 7,000 from a couple hours ago, right before market open. And that short borrow fee rate is down as well from last week, down from a high of 6.1 down to 3.35. We've got a couple of new institutional buys here from yesterday, and then we have one closed position from today, but we have XR Securities LLC picking up 78,300, and then STRS Ohio picked up 14,250. And I want to get to a little bit on the Samsung partnership. So this guy here, Johnny Snacks, I guess he works at a phone retailer, and he was talking to a Samsung rep the other day, and he was asking him about the new Samsung Fold. And so let's get into a little bit of that right now. This guy hasn't seen it yet, but he has to sign an NDA Friday when the Samsung rep brings it, and he won't be able to tell us anything after Friday until the release date. He did ask him if there is the Metamaterials in the phone, and the rep said yes, there is. The rep said he could not tell the retailer the name of the phone, so it might not be called the Fold 3. And then he asked him, the retailer asked the Samsung rep about NanoWeb, and the Samsung rep gave him kind of like a non-answer answer that it, without saying too much, that it might be. He couldn't tell me, but that shit-eating grin he had on his face was telling me enough that I nailed it. Boy, I hope I'm right, and we start getting the PR that we need. Yeah, if this is true, that is going to be a massive break for Metamaterials. Absolutely. Keep the expectations in check until we have something concrete. Right now, it's just speculation. And we're going to go into a little bit more on the Samsung theory and the NanoWeb research here from Red Manticore from, again, a couple hours ago. This one is super long, so I think what I'll do to keep this from being a 45-minute long video is I'll give you the little TLDR, and then I'll link this whole fucking Harry Potter novel in here so you can go through at your own leisure. So, all right, here we go. So the NanoWeb was actually invented by Rollith Inc. in 2013. The NanoWeb is not the important parts. It is the roll-to-roll process that is valuable. And this company was funded by ACG America Inc. and the venture arm of Asahi Glass Corp. This is their paper that they put out on this. So the CEO of that company is Boris Kobrin. In 2016, he sold the rights of the roll-to-roll NanoWeb process to Metamaterials. He resided as the CTO and board member and general manager of Metamaterial Technologies between May 2016 and March 2018. He then started Wild Tech Consulting, where he still works. Rollith was acquired by Metamaterials in 2016, and Rollith produced the prototypes. The company's development from concept, proof prototype to several $1 million of NRE partnerships with Asahi and other strategic players in the market. And so Metamaterials bought the NanoWeb as a prototype venture in 2016. So it looks like a deal was made between Boris and George, which allowed him some rights to the NanoWebs. Hence, I think Meta was allowed to acquire NanoWeb as opposed to Asahi Glass or another large company. So there are a couple of different ways that they can produce the NanoWeb material. And so the first is rolling mask lithography. They print the NanoWeb running on roll to plate, and the more desirable one is roll to roll. Roll to roll is a continuous process, and it is more favorable because you can just keep the machine running, and it speeds up the production time as well as reduce the cost, as you don't have to change the plate out in between batches. And here is some of that Metamaterial, the NanoWeb on the R2P. I believe it's the roll to plate. And so this is one of their rolling mask lithography manufacturing tools here. And this is a close-up on how they actually roll out that NanoWeb onto the plates. For the rolling mask lithography, there's low cost, high resolution, and a large area of nano patterning, so that is good. Okay, so in 2019, this is important here, Meta partnered with Samsung's Advanced Institute of Technology team to develop a transparent fingerprint sensors suitable for the next generation of smartphones and tablets. Meta and Samsung recently published a research results highlighting that transparent fingerprint sensors were fabricated to have lower resistance and higher transmittance compared to the conventional sensors. Fingerprint sensors made with rolling mask lithography have lower sheet resistance and higher visible light transmittance than sensors made of conventional transparent conductor materials such as ITO and silver nanowires. So NanoWeb products are most likely being produced for commercial purposes using the roll to plate, not the roll to roll. And the Samsung theory is at this point still just a theory, but it's certainly interesting, and if it is true, it's going to be absolutely massive for Metamaterials, and this will pound the shorts into submission. Will be up probably into the $30 range. Definitely will be hitting all-time highs if/when they announce a partnership on August 11th, when they finally reveal the Galaxy Fold 3, if it is in fact called that. But anyways, that is just about going to do it for this one, guys. I will link this whole long novel in the description below so you can go through and parse through it at your own leisure. So as always, guys, please make sure you're subscribed to the channel for more updates on Metamaterials as well as other stocks and tokens we like. And I thank you guys so much for watching this far, and I'll see you in the next video.